first Stretch a Sketch video. Thank you so much for letting me join in, and I am excited today to be doing the July sketch by Laura Whitaker. You'll see it over on the right-hand side of the screen. It is a really cool page that is subdivided by a diagonal piece, and I decided I would shrink the sketch down to a 6x8 format for a mini album I am doing for Disney. Now, what I'm doing here is using the Simple Stories Say Cheese collection stamps that I got a while ago to make a pattern on the back of a white paper for the top. And the first thing I did was stamp it right onto my glass mat, and the impression was not great. Now, sometimes these acetate, or acrylic stamps, they're not as clear, and also for some reason my candy apple is not juicy anymore, so I really need to get a new or a re-inker for that one. But I just went ahead and got my foam stamping platform or stamping mat. I just got that off of Amazon, I think. And it helps if you have a stamp that's not clear or doing as well as you want it to. This helped a little bit, so I think some of the red turned out much better. So that was good. And then I'm going to move on to some of the other colors. I'm going to be using the Say Cheese collection, so it's got the bolds, the colors here, so that's a real help to us. I'm using black for a couple of them, and I'm just going to stamp on the bottom. Now I know I'm going to cover up the bottom, so that doesn't matter. And I'm just making a random pattern on top. Nothing specific, just trying to cover up the spaces and make sure that I have enough of the stamping. A lot of this is going to get covered up, so it's really just about having something there so that when I put the pictures on, it doesn't mess up you can see it in the background. Using faded jeans, so that's candy apple, faded jeans, and black soot. I'm using that just to put some of the random little dots. And then finally I'm going to use mustard seed and redo. It's kind of a dot with a star in the middle, the fireworks symbol, and that kind of creates the overall pattern. And like I said, I'm just making enough of a background to make a background on a paper. I don't necessarily do that a lot, but for this particular sketch, I knew I needed something with a nice background, and I had already picked out, you're going to see in a second, the pattern paper I want to use on the bottom. And so I didn't have anything that really went with it in the collection left. So I thought this would be a good way to do this. Another thing you could have done is gone to the 6x8 pad and pulled that out, but I just happened to have a piece of white card. I thought that would be good. So here is the paper that I'm going to be using. It's stars. It's why I picked this collection, was because I really liked the colors. I'm going to cut the diagonal here. It's also why I picked this paper, because you'll see in a second, the stars is what I want to talk about. Now, all of a sudden I realized because of the diagonal, I don't have enough stamps. So I got to bring my stamping back out. This is why, I know a lot of people say it, but over stamp when you're doing this kind of thing, over mixed media, over stencil, over splatter, because you're going to end up needing it in places that you didn't do it originally and then not needing it in the middle. So particularly around the edges of your pattern, do it more than you think you should. And that's kind of the message that I have, is that I didn't do that, and I really wish I had, because then it would have saved me this step. But it's okay, because we just pulled it out, and now everything works. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that, and then I'm going to cut off the bottom, as opposed to trying to measure, which that's just not my jam. So we're going to put that on, and you can see here I have created a kind of a similar to the sketch version, but I've shrunk it down to a 6x8. Now I have this picture, and my idea was, you see I only adhered the edges on this, was to tuck that photo in, much like the photos are tucked in there. And this is a picture from Hollywood Studios. This is going in my friend's album. I'm making her a 6x8 mini album to celebrate the trip we took together. This is also for the July challenge over at My Little Scrapbook Store, is to use stars. So I am quite literally using the word star, and I'm using stars and star paper. So I thought that was good too. So I'm pulling out from the die cut pack just first of all the title that I wanted, the star of the show. Mickey, and particularly Sorcerer Mickey, is the star at Hollywood Studios, particularly if you go see Phantasmic. So that I thought was appropriate. And now I'm going to just use the die cut packs to find things to stick in along that edge because that's kind of what the sketch has. It's a really cool way to just kind of embellish. Um, I I really loved that banner or the flags, and I wanted to use them, but it was just too much for this page. I love the banner. I love the banner piece that has all of the scallops on it. So you're going to see me make sure I can get that on there. Putting a banner on a diagonal, I determined was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but we're going to make it work and cover up one of the ends that kind of doesn't quite fit, and that's going to make it all the better. This is another easy way to use your die cuts. Instead of hoarding the die cuts, go ahead and just find a way to make a line of die cuts, make a section of die cuts. And what that does is it makes the die cuts not seem so out of place, but instead they're purposeful and they're in there, and that's good. Excuse me. So basically what you're seeing is me just putting this together with these die cuts, picking out things that go with Hollywood Studios. Not everything does. It's not really a food thing. It's not a ride, but I use things like the movie. What is that called? The cut thing. I don't know what it's called. Tickets. And I think I might use popcorn, but I don't remember. Definitely have the star of the show down there. And so the funny thing is that blue right there, that blue little ribbon thing, is still sitting on my desk. I push it away at some point and I never get it back in that package. There's some cute little round with, what does that say, cheese, round, I guess, just phrase sections, and I use those. I'm going to put that up there with the camera. And I love how this page ends up turning out. I hope you enjoy it too. So I'm excited to be a part of Stretch the Sketch. I think using sketches in creative ways is fun. I'm going to find the next sketch, I'm going to try to do maybe a 2-page layout or something. I know right now I'm taking this pretty literally, but it is my first time, so I thought that would be a good thing to do. And I have enjoyed this collection, the Say Cheese collection, and I've also enjoyed just being a part of doing this album and the sketch series. I love sketches. I think everybody knows I love sketches. Put that sticker down, it was not going to come up. So I just have to deal with where it is. And this is a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy this. If you're interested in the Say Cheese collections, I'll link My Little Scrapbook Store down below. Also, if you're interested in their challenges, I will link that below. Feel free to take this Laura Whitaker sketch and use it in your scrapbooking this month. And if you do, let me know on Instagram. Link me on Instagram. I'm Jessica Scraps on Instagram. I would love to see what you did with it. And use the hashtag StretchTheSketch. And people will be able to see what you've done. So thanks so much for joining along. I hope you like it. And in theory, I'll be able to show you a little bit of a close-up after we put this page together. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.